Hi, everyone. I'm back again with a new group of videos that I'm planning to start doing, where I'm going to explain a number of biological subjects and medical subjects at three different levels of difficulty. I think this is a good approach to learn about a subject where you start with a basic level and you go more advanced. This way, you can get a grasp of the big picture. The three levels that I'm going to talk about are going to be level 1, 2, and 3, and in ascending order from the most basic to the most advanced. In level 1, I'm going to talk about it in a way that probably everyone will be able to understand. When I say everyone, I mean regardless of your scientific background, regardless of your education and your age, etc. At the level 2, I'm going to be a little bit more scientific, where I'm going to use scientific terms to describe the subject in probably a little bit more detail. At the third level, it's going to be advanced, and in the advanced level, this is probably going to be a good introduction to the subject from a standpoint of someone studying medicine or biology, and they're preparing for an exam of some sort. The first subject I'm going to talk about is viruses. And I think viruses is a very important subject that everyone should be able to know about because they can affect our lives significantly, as we have seen in the recent pandemic. So in this video, I'm going to talk about viruses at the basic level. Then there will be 2 more videos where I talk about viruses at higher levels. So what are viruses at the basic level? Let's think about it. So a virus usually describes a thing. It's a small thing. It's very small. I don't want to talk about how small it is in numbers, but it's really small. To get a grasp of how small viruses are, let's think of a person, because we are people and we have an idea of how large someone is. And if you take a close look at someone's hand, for example, that's their hand, you see their skin. And if you take a close look at their skin, you realize that their skin is actually made of very small units, building blocks known as cells. A cell is very small. People contain millions and millions of cells, and they are so small that we cannot see them with our eyes. A virus is so tiny that it can live inside a cell as its own house, maybe larger. So viruses are pretty small. What are they made of? If you think about a virus in a basic perspective, a virus is a thing that contains another thing. It's like a vessel. It's like a box. Let's think about this box. What is this box? Think that you're living in your house in a neighborhood where there are other houses. On one morning, suddenly someone throws a box through your window. This box contains attachments that allowed it to attach to your window. And then out of this box, a small drill allowed it to create an opening in the window, and then it entered your house. This is very interesting. So it invaded your house. Now this box is inside your house, and it's really interesting, a very interesting thing. You take a look at this box and you open it. You open the box, and there's nothing inside this box but a sheet of paper. You take this sheet of paper, and it's just instructions to make your own box. You can make a very similar box to this one, from this sheet of instructions. However, the box does not contain any of the building blocks. It only contains the sheet of instructions. And it mentions what are the things that you need, the tools and the materials that are needed. And all of these tools and materials are things that you can find in your house, which is pretty neat. There are things that you can find in your house, and you can build a very similar box to that. So this grabs your attention, and you start building your own box. You build the box, you create the attachments, you make the drill, and everything. Now, the missing part to make an exact copy of this box is that the new box should also contain the instruction sheet. So you make a copy of this instruction sheet in your photocopy machine, and you make another one. And you place it in this box. Once the box is ready, there are two boxes in your house. One that actually came, you don't know where it came from. The second one is the one that you just made. And you suddenly get addicted to making boxes until your house gets really full of these boxes. You have hundreds and hundreds of these boxes because it's really addicting to make them. You make so many boxes that your house is so full, and also you run out of things in your house to make boxes from. And then these boxes start overflowing. They start falling out through the windows, through the doors, outside your house. And then there are free boxes outside. One of your free boxes manages to jump into your neighbor's house. It attaches to the window, it makes a drill, opens it, gets inside, and your neighbor notices the box, and the same as you, he starts making his own boxes, and etc. A few weeks later, you find that your entire neighborhood is addicted to making these boxes because of what you did. This is pretty much how viruses work. The virus is technically a box that is made of a shell. This is the box wall. And this shell contains tools to allow it to attach and drill. And inside it is the instruction sheets, which contains the information to make another one, another virus. These viruses have, structures on their surfaces that allows them to attach and penetrate inside cells. So cells are the house. The virus is the box. Now, the virus only contains the information. It doesn't contain any of the materials needed to make a virus. So it needs to go to the cell to make a copy of itself. The cell really gets addicted to making viruses, and it starts making more and more of these viruses using materials that are in the cell. And it keeps copying this information and storing it inside these viruses. Eventually, the virus leaves the cell and it infects another cell. And a person gets infected with a virus when enough cells in their body are infected with this virus, resulting in a disease. This is pretty much a very simple introduction to understanding viruses. A very important concept related to understanding viruses is the immune system and how it reacts to them. I'll talk about the immune system in a different series of videos. So this is level 1, understanding viruses. If you enjoyed this video, probably you're going to enjoy level 2. We're going to learn more details about what we were talking about. Thank you.